Hey guys, it's Tessa. So for you it hasn't been a while, but for me it's been a bit since I recorded a video. I've been really busy with my day job, and I've also been dealing with some minor medical stuff, so I haven't really been in the mood to film, but I think things are going to start to calm down a little bit again. And as you have seen or noticed probably, this channel as well as all of my accounts have had a name change recently. Basically, I really wanted to feel more connected with my business name and things like that, so I have rebranded from Enchantment Makes to Gibbs Handmade Goods. And for those of you who don't know, Gibbs or Gibby is my dog. I've had him for 8 years. He's just a really cool guy. Let me show you him. So this is our guy Gibbs. He's not the biggest fan of being picked up, but this is our man Gibby. He is turning 10 in November. He is the coolest guy in the world. I'm gonna try to include him a little bit more in videos, but I don't know how that's really gonna work out. He's not very big. He's really small. He's like the size of a corgi. There you go. So I don't know how I'm really gonna include him in my videos, but doesn't matter. Point is, I've done a rebrand and I'm loving the rebrand. I also have a website of my own now. It's just gibbshandmadegoods.com. The prices there are a little bit lower than they are on Etsy, just because Etsy takes out more fees than Shopify does. So if you are interested in anything, I highly recommend checking out my website. I think everything has like anywhere from $2 to $8 lower in price comparative to Etsy. So you're more than welcome to check that out. There is currently as well a 70% off sale on everything in my store. I believe for Shopify you won't see the discount until it's in your cart, so that might be a little bit complicated, but yeah, you should be able to still see it once you're in your cart. But regardless, if you do have any questions on anything I've made or that you see there, you're always welcome to send me a message on any of my social media platforms, and we can always talk about it as well. On to the purpose of this video. I had 2 orders this week. One was through my website from my friend who I love her so much. She did not need to buy anything from my site. I would have just given it to her if she told me she liked it. But she bought one of the cardigans I made. I'll show you right here. And it's the blue, black, gray one. She loves it. It looks so good on her. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. And then I also sold the rainbow one I made a while ago as well. Both of those are now sold out. I don't have any hexa cardigans ready or available, but this week I have been in a hexagon cardigan mood and I've already completed 2 of them. Yes, my hair is different. I think I like the blonde with the black. Let me know what you think. Need to lighten it a little bit more so it's more of like a white blonde, but this is the first cardigan I worked on / finished. Let me back up for you a bit. So it starts white, goes to black, purple, and then all the way up to pink on both sides. And it's got white cuffs for like clouds. I also make my hexagon cardigans, I think, a tiny bit different than most people. The way I do my seaming for my shoulders and the back panel is a little bit different. Let me show you the back. Oh. So this is the first one I made, and I made too many rows, I think, and my tension was really tight, so I really wasn't loving the look. Let me show you the second one. This is the second cardigan. It is half rainbow and half grayscale. So once again, this one starts white and moves its way all the way up to black, while this side here starts purple and moves it all the way up to pink. And I love this one. The cuff on this side is white, cuff on this side is purple. I think it turned out great. Here's how the back looks once again. So you can see there's no ends or anything showing. It's because of how I seam them together. Let me show you the third cardigan I'm working on. So the third cardigan I'm working on, if I'm doing cardigans that have the same colors on either side, I like to do them 2 at a time. So I don't have very much done of this one. But if you have heard of Wickedly Handmade or Andrea from Wickedly Handmade, you'll know that she makes this one cardigan that, in my opinion, is so pretty. I think it's my favorite colorway she's ever done, and I'm currently recreating it with some of the colors I have. I'll insert a photo here or link the Instagram below for this one specifically, but that's what I'm working on. We're here on row 10 of 23. And if you guys would like a tutorial on how I do my seaming, let me know. Basically, what I do is once I'm on those pieces for the seaming, I take my hook off of my working loop, I put my hook in the stitch that I want to connect to, and I pull that loop through and do a double crochet, and you just do that each time. I didn't explain that the best, but if you are interested in that, let me know. I also do my cuffs slightly differently. A lot of people either just do rows of single crochets or they do like the normal single crochet ribbing. I instead do front post and back post double crochets. I just think that looks a little bit better in my opinion. Personally, if I really could choose and it wasn't a big deal and didn't take extra time, I would probably just use normal knit ribbing because I think it looks the best in my opinion. But knit ribbing, even for cuffs, something as small as 36 stitches for cuffs, takes forever. I cannot relate, especially with something so big like these cardigans. It just takes forever. But this week is all about cardigans. Once I finish this one, which it only took me 3 days to finish both of the other two on their own, so 6 days for both in total, I think I can finish this one by tomorrow night probably, honestly. It's only 4:15 Sunday right now. I'm going to plan on continuing to work on this because I'm timing myself on this cardigan because I think I've kind of flushed out my way of doing it at this point. Timing myself to make sure my pricing's accurate. I'm pretty sure it's accurate or close to accurate at the moment. I cannot say that word, but point is I want to make sure that I'm charging fairly for them. You should see those two cardigans listed and possibly this one by the time this video goes up. I don't know for sure, but definitely check it out or check my Instagram to see if I posted about them. I am at 1 hour and 30 minutes and I have half of row 10 done on this panel and all the way through row 9 done on this panel, which I think is pretty good. There's 23 rows on each one or each panel, meaning a total of 46. So if I have 19 of 46 done, that's pretty good in my mind. I think that's like a really good number to be at for 1 hour and a half. I'm gonna keep cruising on this and I will check in when we switch to the next set of colors because I think I'm gonna run out of yarn for the next color I want to use because I've been making so many of these. The next colors are going to be shades of yellow. I have two shades that I'd like to use for the next color, but I don't have much of either of them, so I don't know if I'll have enough of either to even finish one round versus 2 rounds. But I'm gonna kind of fiddle with it and see what we can make work and go from there. These are the 2 yellows I have. This one's a bright yellow, this is like more of a pale yellow. I have 43 grams of this one, 32 grams of this one. I think I'm gonna start with this guy and just hope I don't run out. If needed, I think I have another yellow I could use. The only thing is that the other yellow I have, or the last yellow I have, is a wool acrylic blend, and I'd prefer this whole thing to be made acrylic just to keep things easy for folks. But I could also use an extra green I have when I get to green instead if I don't have enough of either of these yellows. So I'm gonna get cruising with this yellow and we'll see if I have enough. I did the first panel with the yellow and I'm terrified. I ended up weighing the yellow beforehand. I said it was 43 grams, I think. It shows on my scale that I have anywhere from 28 to 30 grams left. So that should be enough. Okay, so this game of yarn chicken was not nearly as close as I thought it was. I still have a decent amount of this yellow left. It's not enough for another cardigan of this style, but my friend recently gave me a gift card from Michael's for my birthday, and I did just spend a bunch of money on it to get more yarn. But I have like $16-ish left on it, and there's already a few other colors I want to get as well. So I'm just making a list now of colors I need to rebuy. But yeah, I surprisingly have quite a bit left actually of this yellow, way more than I thought I would. But the yellow has been done on both panels. I'm gonna move on to the next 2 shades of yellow and then start the greens. My cardigan's gonna vary a little bit from Andrea's just because I don't have all the same colors. I think she also uses a lot of big twist, and I did not do a big twist run before Joann's was closing, so I mostly have the Loops and Threads Impeccable brand. but that's fine. Let's get going. Yellows, done. I'm at a little over 3 hours currently on the total for this. I think I only have I just completed row 28 of 46, so I'm a little over halfway through, and I'm gonna get started on the greens now. Green rows are done. I have 5 colors left. It's just a bunch of neutrals, so I have 10 rows in total, 5 for each panel. I'm gonna get cruising on those. It's currently 9 p.m. so I probably won't get very far. Okay, so it is the next day because I did my ends differently than I usually do and it took forever. But point is, we finished the next cardigan. Let me know what you think. I really like it. I think it turned out really nice. It's a little bit shorter than both of the other two. I'm not really sure how that happened, especially since I'm pretty sure I used either the same number of rows or it's only off by 1 row, but it feels significantly shorter than the other two do. I think no matter what, I'm gonna steam block all 3 of these to kind of really get the stitches looking nice. But yeah, cardigan 3 done. I'm gonna finish a couple whips. First one being a animal hood that I've made before. It's a different yarn and stuff, but I've made a bunch of these hoods before. And then the other one is a same concept, with a slightly different stitch pattern for the hood portion. And it has little demon horns instead of ears, like the other few hats I have made had. So I'm gonna get started on those and I'll check in when they're done. Last time we spoke was like a week ago at this point, but I haven't really been working on much since then either, which is nice. But I did get a couple things done. I did finish this hood. The ears are a little more pointed than they're coming across as, which is a little frustrating for photos. But it is what it is. I think this one looks great. Honestly, I think I'm getting better at the ear placement as well the more I make these. Here's what this one looks like when it's on. You can't even tell that they're pointed. They definitely curve a bit more. And then I feel like the black fur yarn really absorbs a bit of the lighting. But I think this one turned out great. I still did not finish the demon one. That's what I'm calling it. Let me show you. So this is the demon one, or the horn one. I still have not finished it just because I don't really know what I want to do for the tail pieces. This is also a little bit larger. I don't know what I want to do for these tail pieces here. I don't know if I just want to do the yarn down like I usually do, or if you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear it. I thought of maybe doing like some of the black fur yarn around the horn so it has like a little bit of a cushion piece, and then I could incorporate that into the tails essentially. I could do it mostly this dark red color and then just like 1 to 2 strands of the fur yarn in the braid. I don't really know. Let me know what you think I should do and what you think about it, and I'll go from there. I also started working on a new pattern that I am working on. That doesn't make any sense. I also started working on a pattern that I'm writing. It's for a type of pocket scarf. Let me show you the 2 I have completed. Let me know what you think. I should have the pattern ready for testing probably by the end of next week, which is nice. All right, so to begin with, we have this one. Let me move you a little bit. My kitchen's a little, or my table's a little dirty at the moment. But we have this scarf. Again, it's like a pocket scarf of sorts. It's pretty simple. Got nice big pockets. This is the first draft I made. It's got a little bit of tweaking that I had to make for the second draft. So far, I think this is the best one of the 3 that I'm working on. But I really like the way the third one's looking out. I'll show you that one. Here's a close-up look of the stitches. I'm basically using something called a wrapped double crochet stitch, and I think it actually really looks really nice in this pattern. And then with that, it makes it a tiny bit breathable, but still overall keeping you warm. So there's this version which has, I think, slightly lower pockets, slightly smaller pockets. And then also I modified 2 of the stitches in the row as well to kind of help with the pocket attachment. And this yarn's a little bit thinner as well than the first yarn. First yarn, that black yarn, is the Loops and Threads Color Craft, which is kind of like the Karen 1 pounds, while this green yarn here is the Lion brand Pound of Love. So it's a little bit on the thinner side for a weight 4. But overall, again, I think it turned out really nice. Pockets are a little short. The scarf as well is a tiny bit short as well. That's kind of what happens though with tension issues and the yarn not matching the same like full weight. Here is a zoomed in look of this one as well. Honestly, I really love this green. I might be giving it to one of my friends. Same design as the other one, just different yarn. And then this third one is not completed at the moment, but let me show you how it's looking. So this one here is using a muted rainbow tone. You know, I do buy a lot of yarn, but I don't buy a lot of the same color of yarn, so I'm using my 1 pounds or my major colors for the body, while I use secondary colors for either the edging or the first couple rows. I think this looks great. So this is gonna get quite a few more rows on it in the pink before I switch back to the yellow, green, blue, and purple. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do for the pockets yet. I think I'm gonna do the full pocket pink, and then there's 4 rows of essentially ribbing basically on the pocket itself. So I'll probably do, you know, 1 row of each of these colors, and I think that'll look really nice. Hoping to have this pattern again ready for testing by the end of next week maybe, or maybe the first week of July. I really want to make sure I'm writing it out properly, I'm taking the right photos, all that stuff. But overall, I think the last week was very successful for me. I was dealing with a little bit of lack of motivation, but with that, I completed 2 new pocket scarves, 1 new hood, and 3 cardigans. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. All 3 cardigans have been listed on my site and on Etsy, and then the hood's been listed on both as well. I just need to take some better photos. I don't love the photos for it currently. Other than that, we've done pretty well, and I think I've also gotten 3 or 4 orders over the last 2 weeks as well. I just packed my 3rd bandana order, so I think next video, not to toot my own horn, next video is gonna be how many bandanas can I make in 24 hours, so stick around for that, because I don't know, and that sounds like it's gonna be a little scarier than I want it to be. But that is it for this video. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, anything of that sort, please leave it below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.